क्या बोले? रेडियन पर सेकंड एंगुलर फ्रीक्वेंसी।
फ्रीक्वेंसी का क्या होता है?
हाँ
रेडियन पर सेकंड होता है।
हाँ
पाई क्या रेडियन?
हाँ, रेडियन पर सेकंड होता है। तो मैं मतलब उसको
Good evening, everyone. We have our tutor with us, Mr. Gaganpreet Singh, and we are going to start in a while. So I would request Sumadrita to introduce the meeting and say the purpose for which we are gathered here. So Sumadrita, can you continue?
Yeah, hello everyone. I hope I'm audible. Yeah, Bhaiya, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. You can proceed.
Okay. So, hello everyone. Myself, Sumadrita Haldar, one of the executive of INSYS. So, I welcome you all to this 3-day hands-on bootcamp in Python, where you will not only get the opportunity to learn the basics of Python, but you will also develop a project which is a voice assistant. We Now, first of all, I would like to give a brief about our society, our team, because there are many people who are outside of NIT Silchar. So we at INSEAD, the Instrumentation and Electronic Engineering Society of NIT Silchar, is a budding society which aims to help students to gain technical knowledge and increase their technical proficiency. Throughout the year, we conduct many webinars and workshops and also speaker sessions and fun events to engage the students of our department. And now we are also increasing our reach to help students and learners throughout the country and the world. And this time we are having our collaboration partner, Hexenbit, the EduTech company, which provide one-stop solution to students and professionals to industry-connected skill development program. So, as we all know that we are having the 3-day workshop where you will be learning the basics of Python in the first day, and the second day we'll get to use to with the packages and modules. And in the third day, we have our main objective is to build a voice assistant using Python. The workshop will be tutored by Gaganpreet Singh, sir. He is the CTO of Hexenbit. He is well versed in electronics, R&D, Python software development, and also machine learning product. He is a well-established engineering professional with a PGP in AIML. So I hope you will have a very interesting and learning session. And I know that you all are excited to learn. So without wasting time, I would like to welcome sir. So Gaganpreet Singh, sir, the stage is yours.
Yeah, thanks for the introduction. Right, so hi, hello everyone. I hope I'm audible to everyone, right? Can I get an acknowledgement?
Yes, sir, you are perfectly audible.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Okay, thanks for the acknowledgement. So first of all, I would like to thank you to the team for giving us the stage to interact with the candidates, where we can share our knowledge with them regarding the things that we are doing in at Hexenbit, as well as related to these boot camp basically of Python programming. So as the agenda of these 3 days of boot camp will be like, today we'll be discussing about the starting, that is the fundamentals of Python. So we'll be having a look over regarding the data types and all, that what is Python, what are basic data types in it. And then after that, we will also look at the things like functions and all. And then we will slowly progress towards the modules and packages that we will be actually using in for the main project that we will be building up. So in the upcoming days, like tomorrow and day after tomorrow, we'll be working over those things as well, right? So guys, this thing will try to keep the things as much simple as possible from my side, and I need the participation from your end also. So guys, my voice is not audible.
You are audible,
Yes,
sir.
sir,
You
you're
are
audible,
audible,
sir.
sir. Perfectly audible.
Okay, I guess Abhishek, there is some problem at your end, I guess then. Right, and I have shared in some links in the morning regarding the software installation and all. So those who want to do side by side, they can do the code side by side. I'll be giving you, means I'll be writing down up the things and all. So side by side, you guys can write it down, and also after the sessions are completed, so we'll also share up the notebook so that you guys can actually go through those things in bit detailed, as well as session recordings will be provided. Right. So I hope everyone is excited for this 3 weeks, like 3 days of this journey itself. Like first we'll be having fundamentals of Python, then tomorrow packages and all, and of course we'll be building up the personal voice assistant, which will be done with the help of Python. So we'll try to build up the base for that thing from today itself. Like today we'll learn about the data types. Tomorrow we'll learn about the particular libraries, and day after tomorrow we'll try to go into the detail of that project, right? So before starting with it, I just want to get a notes from everyone that how many of you are already already have worked with Python or have some prior experience. Can you just give an acknowledgement in the chat box, like chat box out here? Yes or no means how many of you are familiar with Python and how many of you are completely new to it? Okay, so I'm getting a mixed response at the moment. Okay, great. So guys, before starting up with the things, first I'll take 5 to 10 minutes. I'll introduce Hexenbit, that what Hexenbit is and what we are doing in at Hexenbit. And then we'll be starting up with our main agenda regarding the Python and all. Right. So in the meantime, you guys may download in the software and install it at your end. Like I have shared in the link. I'll just share it again in the chat box also. Just give me a second. Right. So you can search and download Anaconda over the Google and you'll get the first link of it, like download Anaconda and you'll get the first link out here. You can click over it. And then from here, according to the systems that you are having, depending upon the system configuration, you can download in a particular software you want to download, right? According to the specs and all. Those who are having Windows 7 may find it a bit difficult in installation. They can go in for the previous versions of Anaconda, right? There might be some installation issues you might face, like icons not created and that sort of a thing. So for that, you might need to download the previous versions of Anaconda. So after the meeting, like in case if anyone faces issue with the installation of it, you can just pass on the information to the team and I'll share up the links for the previous versions of it also, right? So that those things can be rectified, right? So in the meantime, while I'm giving in the presentation regarding the company presentation, you guys can set up the environment that you can download it and just keep install it in the meantime, so that once we are up to the coding part, if you want, you can do in the side-by-side hands-on with it, right? Okay, so let me just share my screen once again regarding the presentation. So guys, Hexenbit, as per our tagline itself, redefining learning with the industry-led programs. So we are an edtech company which provides one-stop solution to the students, faculties, and working professionals, right? So we not only deal in with the students itself, but also we deal in with the professionals who are looking to upskill themselves in different industries. So we have the particular skill set regarding upskillment courses available so that they can get a better opportunities in their professional careers as well. So our main mission is in order to remove the pain points in the industry, like regarding whatever things are going on. We generally take in interviews with the candidates. Also, we work with the feedbacks and all. So we generally get this sort of a thing that there are generally two types of people in the industry at the moment, like regarding the candidates. One, who are having a good knowledge of the things, like they are having the better skill set, but they are not able to represent themselves, right? So at the moment, I'm talking about those group of people who are actually facing the issues, not the one who are actually just simplifying the stuff and all. So in this scenario, I'm talking about those two particular groups. One is like who lack the confidence to represent themselves. Another one is the one who don't know any, like who are having a limited skill set and not able to get better job opportunities. So our Hexenbit mission is to overcome this problem along with the students, of course. Like we will be helping them to enhance their skill set, as well as we try to boost up their confidence with such a mock drills during the sessions as well as like the live sessions. So our main USB is basically the strong R&D team. So all the mentors team available at Hexenbit are having their particular expertise in their own field, and everyone is having experience of like 5 to 6+ years. and like they have brought in their experience over the table itself in the form of the content as well as during the live sessions. So this is around the reach of Hexenbet, like we have 70,000 plus subscribers, and though we have like candidates available from different countries also, Australia, Germany, France, then from US also we have some candidates enrolled over our platform. Then, of course, in India, we have a great reach out there. Almost 300 plus Campus Connect is available. Like we are connected to 300 plus colleges in the meantime at the moment. So like we also have Industry Connect, 20 plus industrial partners are available who help us to get our candidates hired into different companies. Like we provide them the opportunities to get interviewed in those companies. And also we have signed in certain COE MOUs, Center of Excellence MOUs with different colleges. Then the problem statement we are actually trying to overcome is again, like there is a lot of content available over the internet, but what thing is missing is all about you need a guidance, you need a proper way out to follow those things. So we at Hexenbet are actually trying to overcome that problem. Like you will be having the live sessions by the industrial experts. So they will be guiding you, they'll be bringing in their experience along with them. It's not just the videos available and you are going through the videos and just continuing with the stuff, but we are trying to help you guys out with our guidance also. Then these are the things that you may get in with once you enrolled at Hexenbet. These are the things that you will be beneficial for. Recognition, you will be getting an industrial certificate, internship, or sort of a professional certificate, mentor support, job ready, live sessions, like live sessions will be there by the industrial experts. And of course, you'll be getting in the career-oriented projects and assignments regarding the courses that you will be particularly enrolled in for. Right. So this was a brief about Hexenbet and the programs and services we offered, COE labs, training plans. Like this is about internship programs. A lot of students do these internships during like summer internship, winter internship and all. Corporate programs, like different industries approach us to train their candidates over different technologies. They hire fresher and they get them trained from our platform. Professional courses are something for the professionals who are looking to upskill themselves, as well as the interview program is also there. Like in this, we focus over the preparation and all of the candidates. Then a glimpse of the COE labs and MOU signed recently. So recently we have also signed in a MOU with the NIT Silchar Society regarding these those who are actually responsible for hosting this event. So it is a great news. Like we are going to foster in the environment of innovation with the help of the society into the college as well, right? So this was about Hexenbet, that what we are currently doing in and all these stuffs. And also aside from this, one of the achievements I would say is that we are the official training partners of ST Microelectronics, also one of the tech giants in all over electronics industry. So we are officially training partner of them, highlighted over their website also with the name of Tevatron and Hexenbet as a training partner. Right, so this was about Hexenbet, guys. Now I would like to start up with our main things, that is Python and introduction to Python basically. So without wasting any more time, let's start with a particular thing. So before starting with Python, I would like to know your views, that what you know about Python. Can any one of you just tell me what is Python? Or where do we use Python programming language, and why actually people are getting into Python these days more as compared to other programming languages? Yes, can anyone just unmute themselves, or you can write in chat box also. Anyone aware of Python? Useful in data science. Okay, simple syntax. Great. Anything else anyone wants to add? Machine learning, AI, data science, useful libraries, open source. Okay, so easy to understand. Great. So let me just start up with the introduction of it so that you get a glimpse of what Python is, and then we'll be starting up with the different things available in Python, right? So introduction to Python, let's have a quick overview of Python. So history of Python. Python is widely used general purpose high level programming language. It is easy to understand and one can easily learn these things by having a simpler syntax and all. Then it was created in 1991 and further it was developed by Python Software Foundation, designed with an emphasis on code readability. So like those who have done some other programming languages like Java, C, C++ and all, they will notice this thing in Python that whatever like it helps us to write down the code in fewer lines as compared to other programming languages. Like for example, just a second. Like for example, if we talk about C language, right? In C language, if you are trying to do some task, you may require 4 to 5 lines of code. In C++, you may require to write down that same thing in 3 to 4 lines. In Python, the same thing may be possible to get executed in 1 to 3 lines. So that is the beauty of Python, that why most of the people are shifting towards Python, because it helps us to express our concepts in fewer lines as compared to other programming languages. And it's quite easy to learn as compared to other programming languages. Right, so we will be focusing over Python only in this particular sessions. In key aspects, Python is dynamic interpreted language. So in this, the code gets interpreted line by line, and in case if there is certain error, then it will be reported at that time only, right? And the entire execution of the program will get halted on in case if there is certain sort of a error being encountered in between. No type declaration of variables, parameter, functions, or methods. So like in C, C++, we are supposed to write down the data type of it. Right? We are supposed to write down the data type of it. Int, age. So what do you mean by data type and what do you mean by variable? Can anyone of you tell me that? Yes, can anyone of you tell me?
Data type is the type of a variable, so which we are going to use in the program.
Okay.
It might be a integer value, it might be a float value, it might be a character string value we are using.
Okay. And what is data type?
Data type is that type of data we are using for that particular variable.
So like age is basically a variable, right? It will be storing some value. So variables are generally used for storing values or pointing at some values. So in case of Python, variables are basically sort of labels that will be pointing at the data stored in the memory. So int is basically the type of the value stored in this variable, right? So that means that age will be storing integer value. But in case of Python, we are not supposed to write it, right? We'll simply write down age equals to 10 and our work is done. Means we don't need to do anything else. The variable will get declared automatically and we can use it, right? So we are not supposed to write down these things. Then after this, like it's an open source initiative. Python is developed under an OSI approved open source license, making it freely usable and distributable. So you can use it for any sort of a purpose you want. Then Python package index is one of the reasons why Python is also being like so much popular these days. PyPI is basically a particular website available if you go through pypi.org. So it allows us to download different sort of a library. So it's a portal over which developers post their work libraries and all, which can be used in for different projects by the other users as well. So a lot of community support is available. That's why Python is again one of the most used languages in today's time. Then applications of Python. Python is being used in like web and internet development. So there are modules like frameworks available, Flask and Django. Those are related to Python, which help us for the integration of front end with the back end. Flask and Django are particularly written in Python itself. So those who learn Python, if they want to develop their career in this particular field ahead, then they can also learn these modules as well. Right, then aside from that, Python networking is available. Those who are from networking side, they can learn those things, creating server client model and like posting data over servers and fetching the values from there. One can easily do those things. Then scientific and numeric, of course, AI/ML, data science, data analytics, all they lie under this application where data will be used. And we'll be using the mathematical models as well as intuitions to overcome the problems in our day-to-day life with the help of the data sets, and we'll try to make up the systems with the help of it. Then education, basically like these days you would have noticed that in CBSE and all those who are appearing in academics 11th, 12th examination these days, if any of your siblings is appearing in, then they have this Python programming language now. Earlier we used to have C++, Java and all, but the board examination and all is also now in Python basically. Desktop GUI and software development, so one can easily develop softwares with the help of Python, as we will also be making up a script, a software basically for a voice assistant as well in the third day. Then embedded systems and IoT, like with the help of advancement in technology as well as microcontrollers these days, if anyone follows Arduino and or NVIDIA and also they brought in different controller boards which are capable of having AI/ML algorithms run over it smoothly with that sort of a hardware design available and the computation capabilities available over it. So in embedded systems and IoT, also Python is being used a lot. And one of the core examples you can take is Raspberry Pi. Over that, you can build up different AI-based projects, automation-based projects with the help of Python itself. Right, so this was about Python, that where it is being used, and almost every IT giant or new player in the industry, we can say startups coming up, everyone is using Python in some or the another way according to the requirement that they have. It could be in any particular field. So you name a field, there will be certain things related to it in Python. Right, that's the beauty of it. So this was about Python in short. Anyone having any queries, any doubt regarding this till now? Yes, guys, anyone having any doubt? Okay, I would like to have acknowledgement from all of you in the chat. That will be great. So guys, just one simple rule for my class, that you guys need to be responding as much as possible. Means whatever I am asking in, you may try to answer the whatever questions I am asking in, you may try to answer in those queries, as well as the other things, like if you are facing any issue, you can write in chat box I'll try to answer it. And other things, if I am asking any particular thing, then you may try to write down those particular things.
So I have a question. Hello.
Yes, Partha.
Yes, sir. The thing is that my research topic is in millimeter wave communication. So that's in 5G communication and MIMO, especially in antenna design. So how we can use it is Python.
In antenna design and all, like basically if you are having a numerical problems that could be resolved with the help of Python. Like if we talk about different sort of a transformations and all, they generally require in high mathematical capable libraries. Like if you talk about scientific calculator or different libraries, if the computation is supposed to be done in the form of matrices and all. So for those sort of things, you can of course make in the use of Python, as well as like if you are trying to get some value and want to post it over certain things with the help of Python, then you can do that also in that aspect. Like if you want to communicate, or if you want to pass on certain values from a particular range over certain server that you want to have, then with the help of Python, you can of course do that thing.
So basically, you can say it is achievable, means it can be used for the designing of smart antenna and a signal processing system.
Yeah, in mathematical
So basically,
models, you can
yeah.
easily use it.
So it's basically use of mathematical model, doing some calculation, mathematical computers.
It depends upon the complete things that the way you want to implement it, right? Let's say we want to develop a particular software related to antennas and all. And then in that case also you can create a software according. For that thing, you must be having the complete mindset about that particular part, that what you want to achieve. Then we need to look into those things, that whether we are having a supportive modules and libraries which could help us to deliver down those things that we are planning into. If yes, then we can surely move into that particular part.
Okay.
Nadeem, okay, thank you, Parth.
Thank you.
pypi.org is basically a portal. I'll just show you that also. Tomorrow I'll show you that when we will be talking about the external modules. At that time, I'll show you what pypi.org is. It can help to develop apps. Yes, Tanima, you can develop desktop apps as well as you can develop mobile applications also. There is a module named Kiwi, with the help of which you can develop Android applications, and there is other modules like Kinter, PyQt, with the help of which you can actually develop desktop apps. Right. Anyone else having any query? Okay, so let's move on. I hope you guys have just installed this Anaconda part. So let me just launch Anaconda first. So guys, there are certain reasons why we are using Anaconda. The reason for that is like it's quite easy to use, especially for the beginners as well as the people who are having the mid-level knowledge regarding Python. The reason for that is like if we go with other Python IDEs that are available, let it be the Python official IDE, or if we go with Spider, PyCharm and all, you can use any particular IDE for your use, no issues with that. But during these sessions, we will be focusing the things over the Jupyter notebook itself, because there are a lot of things that we'll be writing down, and it's quite easy to write those things in a single file over Jupyter notebook. That's the advantage of it. And why we are using Anaconda, like this is the UI that you will get while launching the Anaconda software. So over this, you can see a lot of softwares are already available in, right? It's a sort of a provider that will provide you different softwares. Now, the best part about this particular thing is there is certain thing known as environment in Python. Environment is basically creating a workspace in which you will basically add on all the required things so that you can work easily. So in environment section, there are a lot of pre-installed libraries available in it. So libraries are basically known as modules and packages in Python. In C, C++, we generally call them as libraries, but if we talk about in Python, we will call them as modules or packages. So these things are already pre-installed in it, and a lot of them are not inbuilt modules. So we will discuss about what inbuilt modules and all. So it makes us easy to use them without getting into the requirement of installing it, because sometimes installing different modules in Python can create an issue for beginners as well as for the mid-level knowledge people. Even the experts sometimes face issue with the different things that happens with a module installation. So if it gets done, it is quite easy. If you just write a command, it gets done. You'll feel it's quite easy. But the day you will face issues with a Python package installation, that day you will be like, it's quite easy to use Anaconda as compared to different modules, right? So in this, we'll be using Jupyter Notebook. I'll be clicking over this launch button to start with it. So this will get launched in the web browser. It does not require internet for this. It will create a local host automatically. Whatever the by default web browser you are using, it will get open into that particular thing, right? So this will be the basic directories you will be getting in the root directories where Python is where Jupyter Notebook is being installed. Right. So in case if you guys have not installed it yet and you want to install it after the session, I'll also share one installation video also. So you guys can install the Anaconda in case if you have not installed yet. I'll share one installation video link with the team, and they will pass on that information to you, right? So how to get started with this software? This new button is there, and click on it. Python 3, and if you want you can create a folder also. So I'll click on this Python 3 file. Now Jupyter Notebook, by the name itself, notebook is there. So just think of a simple thing how we do these things in college and school, right? We used to have notebooks with us if the topic that is being taught is loops. So the teacher used to give us some definition. We write down that definition, and after that we write certain code. Then let's say the next topic starts, we write down definition, then the code. So in Jupyter Notebook, within a single program file, like this is the program file that I have opened up. Within this, I can write down multiple programs, and that can be executed independently or dependently upon the variables that are going to be get used. Right. So within a single notebook, just like this loops program has nothing to do with the below part, or if some variables are being taken from here only, then you can create a similar sort of a relation here also. So this place is actually known as cell, where we'll write down our code. Aside from that, let me just brief more about this particular part. So this run button is there. Whatever you may write here, whatever I may write here. System became extreme slow after Anaconda. Yes, it is a bit heavy software. So like once you install it, if you are having a good configuration, it will be good for you. Otherwise, you can use the other IDs, whatever is comfortable with you. You can go in that particular manner. Means whatever project we will be doing in, that project can be executed in other softwares also. No need to worry about that. If you are practicing or doing the stuff in other software, you can do that too. But from my side, I'll recommend you to do it over Jupyter Notebook. Right. So in case if anyone is facing issues with this software getting like because of software system getting slower, but that sort of a thing, then if you want, you can remove it after the boot camp itself, and you can practice it in the normal other IDs that are available. So if I write down any code in this, and if I click on run, Sir, please show once more how you started Jupyter. Once you start the Anaconda software, you just need to go to this Anaconda. You'll write down and you'll start this, and this will be the window that will be appearing in, right? This will be the window, and from this window, you are supposed to click on this Jupyter launch button. Once you click over it, it will redirect you to this particular screen. And from here, you can click on this new button and you can just start with a Python 3 file. Right? So if you click over this, it will open a new Python 3 file. So this place is known as cell. Whatever you write it here, click on run and this will get executed. So I'm just writing down random stuff. That's why it is showing error. Let's write down again random. Again error. So by doing this, we can write down anything we want. And if we want to add on more cells to it, we can do that by adding this plus sign. So you can see I am able to add on these things with the help of plus sign. Cells can be added on as much as we want. And with the help of these arrows, I can rearrange the order of the codes. Like if I want, I can rearrange them the order I want. Right? Then aside from this, there's something known as kernel in this, which is capable of all the processing and all. So, Tanima, what is not visible to you? Guys, is my screen visible to all of you?
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible, sir.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Jupyter notebook screen,
Yes, sir, visible.
in which errors and all are there, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Tanima,
sir.
I guess, Tanima, there is some issue with your net. You can just reconnect it. Sir, where this file is going to save. This file will save in this directory, basically. Like here you can see all these files are randomly being created, means whatever file I am creating, they are getting saved here. You can create one folder or you can select one folder. Let's say I want to save it in 3D objects. I can move into this and click over that. Right? So on the right hand side, there is one kernel option available. You guys can see on this on the right side, ring is available, right? So this ring is basically the symbol of kernel. Whatever processing is being done, this is being done with the help of this. So in case, sometimes what happens is this ring becomes a complete dark circle when it is in processing, right? So sometimes it gets stuck because of like wrong logics that we are going to write down or incorrect loops that are being written down. So how to overcome that issue is with the help of this kernel option. In this, we have restart and clear output, restart and run one. So restart and clear output, what it does is, whatever cells I have written, it will bring those things back into the unexecuted form. Like for example, restart and clear all output. So you can see all of them are brought back to unexecuted form. Unexecuted form means no output will be there for any of these. And if you want to restart and run on, what it will do, it will run all the cells one after the another unless and until error is being encountered. So that is something I'll show you. If I write down correct codes, then I'll show you this restart and run all option. Right. Aside from that, if you want to remove these cells, you can use the scissor to remove it. Right. So this was about the overview of this particular software. Now this was the codes, like I am writing down error. But there is something known as markdown in this. Markdown. This markdown is basically whatever I want to write, I will write it here and click on run, and this will get printed as it is. So the way I correlated it earlier on, that you can write down certain definitions and all, you can use this markdown. So this is very much handy when we work in AI, ML or data science. When we are creating a data analytical report, this markdown feature is generally used to write down our insights about the data that we have got from the data analysis that we have done. Right. So this markdown feature can be used in for writing down the things out there. Right. Is it clear to everyone? Anyone having any queries related to the software, particularly at the moment? Or shall we move on?
Sir, can you please repeat what markdown is?
Repeat again what?
Sir, can you please repeat what markdown is?
See, in markdown, this is generally used for documentation and all. Means whatever things you want to summarize and all, you can write it here. By doing this, selecting it as markdown, you can convert it into markdown, and then you can do the formatting of text. Let's say I want to write it data types here. Right, using hash, I can do the formatting of the text. One hash means heading, then you can decrease the size of heading. And after that, you can use this dash option to create a list. Let's say mutable, immutable. Now, if I run it, you can see like this. It will be written sort of a summary that you will be getting in. So it's basically more of like you can write the code, you can make your notes also within a Jupyter notebook only. Whatever definition of a particular thing is, or whatever summarizing means, let's say we have written certain code in these 3 cells, and using markdown, I can write down a summary that what I am going to do in the 3 cells that are going to follow it. Right? Anything else anyone wants to ask? Yes, guys, anyone having any query, anything anyone wants to ask on the starting things? Okay, so now let's move on to the fundamentals. That is the most basic command which is used is print command. PRINT, print command is used to get the output over the output screen. So print parenthesis single quote. Hello everyone. This is my text that I want to print. So click on run option and you will see your output getting displayed. So this is basically a hello world program. In C, C++, we have to do so many things. In Python, it is just print hello world, done. First program of your Python programming is done. That is how simple it is. Instead of single quotes, you can also write double quotes. Python, let's use double quotes. Python bootcamp. So in Python, we can use inside the print statement, we can use single or double quotes interchangeably. Right, we can use it interchangeably, but one thing you need to take care is if you are starting with a single quote, you are supposed to end it with a single quote. If you are starting with a double quote, you are supposed to end it with a double quote only. You can do this. You cannot do this thing, right? It will show error. Let me just show you demo. Print. Let's say I have written it like this. So you can see error is being there. So this is how the things will be regarding the print command. Now, let me show you that kernel clear and run all function. Clear, restart and clear output. I'm clearing the output for it. Done. Now I will restart and run all. So what it will do, it will execute all the cells one by one unless and until error is encountered. Like this. Right now you can see this cell is not getting executed because in this cell I got an error. So that's why this cell remains unexecuted. But the previous two are getting executed. Right? So that is the thing that how Python works. Is that clear to everyone? Is the print statement clear? Okay. Now, let's say I want to create a variable in this. How I can do that is age equals to 10. Simple as that. Age is done. Print age. Now, whenever I want to print the value of a variable, I will print it as it is. No need to add on any quotes. No need to add quotes. Right? If you add on quotes to it, then it will throw error. Not error, basically it will not work accordingly. Like if I want to print it, you can see it is printing the value of that variable. But if I write it like this, quotes, then it will print it as a message only. Is the difference clear? How to print a value of a variable? Okay, guys. So now after this, if I want to print a message with this value, means I want to print different stuff. How I can do that is print my age is. This is one message. Now after this, I want to print a value of a variable. Age, comma, age. My age is 10. Now after this, if I want to do something else, my name is Gagan. I can do it like this. So a comma variable, comma is being used as a separation in between. Comma is used as a separation. Right? Similarly, let's say we create two variables, name equals to hexen bit, age equals to 10. Now remember one thing in this. This is basically a string value. Can anyone tell me what do you mean by string? What is string?
Sir, group of characters.
String is an array of characters.
Array of characters, group of characters. So we can call it as a collection of characters, right? And in Python, do remember this thing, we don't have any data type as char. There is no char data type available directly in it. Even if you write down a single character also, this will also be a string only. Right? So every character, either a single character or a group of characters, they will all be represented as a object of a string class. Now name equals to hexen bit, age equals to 10. And this string will always be represented in single quote or double quote, whatever you want in that. Creating two variables, print my name is, comma, name, comma, my age is, comma, age. So you can see my name is hexen bit, my age is 10. This comma gets replaced with a space. comma gets replaced with a space. Right? So that is how the things, the basic print command and all is being done in this. Is that clear to everyone? Now question may arise that how Python will get to know the data type, because I am not writing it, right? It helps us to get to know. There is a function known as type. Print age, comma, type, type. Age, comma, type, type. This type will help me to get what sort of a value is being there in age. So you can see class int. In Python, everything is treated as an object. So 10 is an object of an integer class. Right? So age, it shows us that integer. So similarly, instead of this, you can check it for name also. Print name, comma, type of name. Class str. So it is basically a string class. Right? Now, after this, you can assign in multiple values. Multiple assignment you can do, like A, comma, B, comma, C equals to apple, comma, mango, comma, kiwi. Now to run this cell, we have a execute, like there is a shortcut, shift plus enter. Shift plus enter is a shortcut. Right shift key plus enter key at the same time is a shortcut to execute this cell. Print A. And Python is a case sensitive language. What do you mean by case sensitive? Python is a case sensitive language. What is case sensitive?
It treats uppercase and lowercase differently.
Uppercase and lowercase are different. Means small is not same as that of capital N. Right, so you can see A is apple, B is mango, C is kiwi. So you can do this part also. Then after that, we come to the things like mutable and immutable data types. So can any one of you tell me what do you mean by mutable and immutable data types? Can any one of you tell me what is immutable and mutable in Python? Immutable, which cannot be overwritten. Devendra, overwritten, we can overwrite them, but we cannot change the elements of it.
Sir, mutable means which data type can be changed from like integer to string like that. And immutable means that can be done.
No, not that.
Sir, mutable.
Yes, Sunil.
Sir. Yes, sir. For mutable, we can reassign the items again. If you want to change like some item value or something, we can do that in mutable. Whereas in immutable, we cannot reassign the items.
Basically what happens is, like in mutable, from the name itself, mutable, we can make the changes in it. Like for example, the word mutant is there, right? We generally say this COVID mutant, or like if anyone of you have seen X-Men movies, there is a word mutant in it. Mutant means in which there are certain changes that can be done or certain evolving things are there, right? So mutable object means in which we can make the changes. Immutable means we cannot make the changes to it. Now in this changes and not changes means in case of mutable data type, we cannot make the changes in the elements of it. Right? Once we create it, let's say I created certain collection of data, I cannot change any of that particular data in that collection. That is what immutable. In case of mutable, I can change the value. Right? We'll see that in a moment. So mutable and immutable data types. So in mutable, we can simply write it just to certain knowledge. There is a concept of hashing also, so not moving into that particular part. Just to keep it easy, I am breaking it here only, that we can make changes and we cannot make it changes in it. We can change the elements after creating it, or we can make changes in it after creating it, like deletion, updating, adding, etc. Right? We can do these sort of operations over it. And the example for this could be list. What else is mutable? Can any one of you tell me? Those who have idea about Python. Dictionary. What else? Sets. In case of immutable, cannot changes to it after its elements after creating it. Tuple, int, float, and of course, strings. Right, so these are our data types. Now let's see them one by one. When we talk about numeric data types in Python, we have integer. Integer means pure values, numbers, integer values. Right, like that. This is integer. When we talk about float, float are basically decimal point. Right, float are decimal point numbers. Now the main data type that we will discuss is strings. So we'll discuss all of them in bit detail. Strings, there is a concept of indexing in it. Let's create a string. X equals to hexen bit. Right, hexen bit is my string now. Now before moving towards the explanation part in this further about hexen bit, what we can do is we will just discuss about indexing now. Right, that how a string is getting stored and all. Just a second, guys. Indexing here. Right, so just like any other programming languages in Python, also strings are like, we can access the characters of it using indexing. Right, so this is my string here. Now, indexing is basically the index locations we have in it to access each character. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this indexing is from 0 to 6 in this case. Can anyone tell me the general form of it? Means if I have any string available with me, how I can do this range of indexing for it? What will be the general form? Yes, can any one of you tell me? 0 to n minus 1. Yes, correct, Devendra. Where n is? What is n? What is n in this case? Total length of the string. We will not be using the word size here because sometimes size word gets confused with that how much memory it is actually consuming. So that's why we use the proper words, that is total length of the string. Total length or total number of characters. Right, any of it. Correct. So in this case, how many characters are there? 7. N is 7. So I can access these values by writing it like this. X of square bracket 0. If I print this, it will basically give me H. If I print X of 1, it will print E. If I print X of 2, it will print X, like that, and so on. Up to X of 6, that is T. If I try to access any index out of the bound of this, then it will basically throw error. Is that point clear? So this is something we can call it as positive or forward indexing. Right? Positive or forward indexing. Now in Python, we have something known as negative indexing also. Negative indexing is basically -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, 6, -7. So in negative indexing, it starts from -1 to -n. And in positive, it is 0 to n-1. Right? So I can access this E as X of -6. This will also give me E. Now, just a sort of a question for you all. Why we are not having 0 in the negative indexing? Why cannot I start with 0 in that? Or why the developers had not made it that way? What is the reason? Just think of it.
For 0, there will be 2 values, H and T.
Can you please repeat it?
So if we take the value 0, then there will be two characters, H and T.
Yes. So basically, like if we talk about 0, if we make it 0 from here, let's say we start at 0. So if we try to access f of 0, x of 0, ambiguity will rise whether we are talking about h or whether we are talking about t. Right? So it will create a confusion because 0 can neither, we cannot say this is positive, we cannot say this is negative. Right? For 1, we can say 1 and minus 1 is different, but 0 and minus 0 both are same. Right? So this was the concept of indexing. This will be followed in list as well as in tuples also in a similar way. Tuple and list, in both the cases, same indexing concept will follow, positive and negative. Right? Now, after this, let's discuss about slicing now, which is the next concept. What do you mean by slicing? Slicing of a list, string, or tuple, can anyone tell? What is it? Slicing. Yes, please. Can anyone tell me what do you mean by slicing? Anyone have any idea? Dividing the string in parts. Okay. So basically slicing in is extracting out certain string from this given string or certain substring in terms of strings I am talking about. Or if I talk about in general, slicing is basically extracting out a sub part of a given data. Means if you want to extract, let's say you have a complete bar and you want to extract out certain from it, in that case, this thing is being used. Now the syntax for that, the general forms that we can say is x of a colon b colon c. This is the general form of it, where a is starting index, B is ending index, and after this, C is your step size, or we can also say number of jumps. Right? And the values that we get from it is, means the range of values it will cover up from this particular part is A to B minus 1 with C as step size. Right? Means it will cover from A to B minus 1 with step size as C. Number of jumps will be equivalent to C in each part. Now we have a by default values in this. If A is not written, the by default value for A will be 0. By default value for A will be 0. If B is not written, the by default value of B will be n. And if C is not written, then the by default value of C is 1. These are the by default values of slicing of a string. Right? Now, let's say the first one. This is the first case. Can any one of you tell me what it will be?
X and
X and N. What is the value of A in this case? Compare this thing with this blue one. What is the value of A? This is X. Value of A is 2 because here 2 is written instead of A, so 2. What is the value of B?
4.
B is 4. So the range of values that it will cover is 2 to 4 minus 1, that is 3. With step size, the value of C is 1. So how the answer will come is, it will start from here, X. The first will be X. Then after that, only one jump. The next character is N. Now after that, we are not allowed to jump because the range is, accessibility is up to 2 to 3. So this will be our answer. Right? Is this clear to everyone? Anyone having any doubt in this? Because this is a very important concept in Python. And it is being used in a lot of things. Yes, please. Is it clear to everyone? See, we are comparing this form this form with this form. Right? So instead of A, we have 2. A is 2. Instead of B, after A, colon is there. So we have this colon. After that, B is there. Instead of B, we have 4. Now, after that, C is not written. So instead of C, we have 1. Right? Instead of C, we have 1. Is that clear now how ABC is being taken? Naveen, is that clear? Partha, you need to compare it. Compare A with this format with this format. Instead of A, we have 2, so A becomes 2. Instead of B, we have 4, so B becomes 4. Now the C value is not being given in this case. Because of Gaurav, because of colons. Because of
Sir,
colon. Yes.
Sir, but whether this 2 is for A or for B, how we can come to know?
See, the first.
Like if I want to skip B, then what? Then how I should write it?
I'll come to that point also.
Okay.
This is the general form, right? If A is being skipped, A will become 0. if B is after the colon, this is a place for B, this is a place for A, and this is a place for C. You cannot skip A. Means if you write down anything before colon, if one colon is being used, then automatically this thing will always be treated as A only. Right? I'll show you an example for that also.
So, sir, in this example that you have taken, there is no colon before 2.
No.
So whether this value is for B?
This is for A. This is the format, right? This is the format for you. A colon B colon C. If any of these, see, we move from left to right, right? So whatever thing will be written on left will be going in for A only. What is the function of C when we are already defining the range of character as A is 2? Wait and Naveen, this is just a first example that I have given you. Now we'll see how these things will work and it will get more clear to you all. Jitendra, you can try that colon 5-1. What will be the answer? We'll get an answer for it. It basically, okay. Now after this, let's talk about the second example. X of colon let's take this example only. Now in this case, what is A, what is B? What is A in this?
0 and 5.
A is 0 because nothing is written before colon. So it by default, it takes it as 0. B?
5.
B is 5. Now after B, there is no colon. That means C will automatically by default will become 1. So this is the values. Now it will go from 0 to B minus 1 becomes 4. So 0 to 4 will be the index it will cover. So answer will be H, E, X, N, B. This will be our answer. Right. Now let's say the next thing, X of two. This is another variation. What will be the answer here?
2, 0.
2, 0. What is A here?
A is 2, sir.
A is 2. What is B?
B is 0. Nothing is there.
B is
N.
N minus 1 is 0. 1, 1.
B is N.
Yeah, B is N. If it is not given. In N in this case is 7. Right? This is a place for B. And B is not written here.
Yes, sir.
So B will be N. That is 7. And what will be C?
6. Equal 10 minus 1.
C is step size. Means how
Yes,
many
it's
jumps
1.
I will take. By default, 1.
1.
Right? A, B, C. So how it will go is range of these values will be 2 to
6. 2 to 6.
range of the values will be from 2 to 6. So it will start from here. It starts here. It takes X. Then it's because of C, it will take one jump only. Next character is N. Then after that again one jump B, then again one jump I, then again one jump T. So the answer that we'll get is X N B I T. Right, now let's see another part of it. Here I am writing X of colon 4 2. What will be the answer in this case? Now this is the condition where we have not written A, but C is available now. So match it with this ABC form. What is A?
0.
0. What is B?
B4 C2.
C is 2. Now range of values will be 0 to
2.
4.
4 कैसे B minus 1 है ना?
3.
0 to 3 is the range of values that are available. Now because C is 2, so let's see how this thing will actually work. We'll start from 0. Here, that is H. So our answer will be H first. And then after that, we have to take C2. That is 2 jumps are there now. So 1, 2.
That is it.
The next character it will print is X.
Yes.
E is skipped now
Enough.
because of the 2 jumps. And now after this, I don't have 2 jump spaces available.
No,
Like,
brother.
I cannot go from here to here because the accessibility is still 3 only. So H and X will be my answer.
Have you signed?
Right?
Closed, no?
Is that clear to everyone now? Anyone having still doubt in this?
It's okay, sir.
Everyone clear now? All those who are having any sort of a queries, everyone's query is being answered? Okay. Now the last, just try to answer this particular one. X of colon 3. Try to answer this thing. What is A here?
0, sir.
What is B?
0.
B तो 0 होगा ही नहीं कभी भी.
N.
7.
BNN.
Basically 7. C.
7. C3.
C3.
So 0 to what will
7.
be the range? B minus 1. That is 6. With step size as
3.
So it will start from 0 only now.
H then B.
First it will be H. Then it has to take 3 jumps. 1, 2, 3.
It will be B.
So H, N. Now
B.
after that again 3. 1, 2, 3. So H and T will be my answer for this. Right? Anyone having any query related to indexing? Because this slicing, this will also be used for list and tuple. As well as if you go into advanced topic like NumPy, Pandas, in that also we have this slicing concept. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's quickly do the bit of coding. Like, let's write down these things in code also, just to verify that whether we got the same answers or not. So print X of 0 H, or let's print X of 1. X of 1 is E. Similarly, we can print X of -6 also. You can see both are E, negative indexing concept. Then we talk about slicing. So colon 2:4. Print X of 2:4. Whether the value of B should be N or N minus. See, here we are taking the value of B as N. That's why we are covering N minus 1. A to B minus 1 we are doing, right? We are already considering that B minus 1 in that. If you want to take it as already as N minus 1 only, then no need to do that directly, whatever you are writing here. But in most of the things, you will read it like this only. X 2:4 means it will cover from 2 to 3. 4 will be excluded. X and N. Similarly, the other parts of it, I can write down print X of colon 4:2. H and X. This answer is same as here, right? So I'm clearing my screen now. So this was about slicing of a string. Now I told you string is a immutable data. So if I try to change value of X of 0 to something else, let's say Z, it will throw error. String object does not support item assignment, so it throws error. Similarly, if I try to delete it, error. Right? So we cannot make changes to it. That's what string is. Now, aside from that, there's something known as string concatenation. We can add on two strings together, like print my name is plus right? Like for example, we can do it name equals to hex and print name plus NBIT. Can see Excel. So this is known as string concatenation. String concatenation means you can add on two strings together. Now guys, this hash, whenever you write down hash in front of any line in Python, it will become comment. It becomes comment. String concatenation. Comments are being added on in programming language to make it easier to understand if we share our code to anyone else, as well as when we are revisiting our code, it will be easy for us to understand, because sometimes we develop a code, if we don't write down the comments, it becomes difficult for us to retrack the things when we are revisiting the code, or if we are sharing the code to anyone else, that individual also faces issues with it. Right, so this was about strings. There are certain other functions also that can be applicable. You can read more about it. You got a kickstart about strings. Now the next thing is list. Now what is list? Can anyone tell me? What do you mean by list? List is not an array. There is a difference in list and array. Yes, can any one of you group of data arranged in certain order? Okay. What else can be added to the definition of list? Can anyone else add something to it?
Ordered collection of values.
Okay, ordered collection. So guys, list is basically a ordered and indexed collection of data. in which the elements are enclosed inside the square brackets separated by comma. So a list, visual representation of a list will be like this: E1, comma, E2, comma, E3. Wherever you see this sort of a data, square bracket separated by commas, this is generally a list in Python. Right? So it is a collection of, it is an ordered and indexed collection of different type of data types. Means you can have it like this: 6, comma, hexen bit, comma, 7.5. You can have this. Can I have this as in, can I have it in array also? Sheikh, can I have this in array? Is it possible for me to have this?
No, sir. No, sir.
Right. So this is a difference in list and array. Plus another difference is in list, these elements are not stored at continuous location. In case of array, the elements are stored at continuous location. Right. So in Python, we do not have any direct data type as array, or we can say inbuilt data type. There is no inbuilt data type in array. For implementing array, we need to make use of, there is a module name array, as well as NumPy is there, which can help us to create arrays. But there is no direct data type in this, or inbuilt data type in Python as array. You can convert a list into an array by just keeping or restricting yourself to integer values, but you cannot impose any restriction over it. If someone enters any string value, no error will be raised. Right? So this is a list. Now let's create a list. Let's create one list out here. Y equals to, let's create a shopping list or fruits list. Shopping list. Equals to mango, comma, kiwi, comma, orange. This is my list. Run it. Print shopping list. So this is how my list looks like. Right, in square bracket and like this. Now, just like the strings in list, also we have indexing. So I can do the same part. Shopping list. Let's say my task is to print even index elements of this list. Sometimes you get this question in sort of a MCQ, what will be the output of index elements? If I want to print index elements, even index elements, then how I can do that? So like this, colon, colon, 2. So colon, colon means entire list. A is not written, so A will be 0. B is not written, so entire list will be there. 2 means step size of 2. So you can see mango and orange, because this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. So my target was to print 0 and 2. Right now, list is a mutable data. So let's change it. Shopping list. Let's say I don't want to have kiwi. I want to have guava instead of that. So I'll change it to guava. Now no error is being raised, print. So you can see Kiwi has been changed to Guava, right? I can add on also dot append. Append is the function which will add one value at the end of the list. Cherry. Print. Shopping list. Right, so elements are added. Similarly, we can delete also if we want. Del shopping list index 0. I want to delete mango from this. So del is the command. Print shopping list. Right, so this is how it can be done. Is that clear to everyone what list is and how we can interact with it? Is it clear to everyone? Okay, great. Now the next thing that we have with us is tuples. Now the difference between tuple and list is in case of tuples, the elements are enclosed inside the circular brackets, or you can also call it as parenthesis. One difference is this. Another difference is it is immutable, means I cannot change it, make changes to it. So let's say in what case you will be using list is, like for example, in colleges, teachers and all professors make temporary mark list, right? When you give certain exams and all and the marks are being given to you. So in that case, they showcase you the mark sheets. At that time, they just write down those marks over a piece of paper simply. But later on, once the verification is being cross-checking is being done and all, so at that time, they create a final list out of it in which no more changes can be done and it is being sent to the university. So tuple will be used where once the data is created, we don't want to make any changes to it. Right? Like for example, enrollment ID or something in which I don't want to make changes again and again. Once it is done, means done. List can be where changes can be done. That is where list will be used as a collection. So let's say if I want that I gave this list to someone and I don't want that individual to make changes to it. So I will create it in the form of a tuple. Like this, print shopping list. So mango, kiwi, cherry. Right now in tuple, we can only have the indexing and slicing part. We cannot make changes to it. So print shopping list 1, kiwi. Right? You can do the slicing also. Now there is one function which I just forgot to add on earlier on, len. Len will basically give us the length of a particular data. Like for example, if we use it with strings, let's use it with tuple at the moment. So it will tell me how many elements are there, 3 elements. Similarly, if I go above and I do it for this hexenbit part, length of X. 7. In Hexen bit, 7 characters are there. So len function can be used with tuple, list, strings, wherever you want, you can use it. Right? So this was about tuples. Now the next data type we have is dictionary. Dictionary. Now what dictionary is basically? Dictionary is, can anyone tell me what is dictionary? Yes, guys, can any one of you tell me what is dictionary?
It's an unordered collection of items.
Okay, what else is there in that? How it is different from the regular things? It has no indexing. Okay, what else? See, a dictionary key value pair is there, right? Kind of hash table. So it's basically what happens in that is a dictionary is a mapping data type in which we do not have any sort of indexing and all available. Dictionary is represented as curly brackets K1 colon V1 comma K2 colon V2 comma K3 colon V3 and so on up to K and Vn, just like in list and tuples we can have. Right, this is how a dictionary looks like. Now there is a direct mapping relationship. So on one side we may have keys and on another side we may have values. K1 V1, K2 V2, K3 V3. So there will be a direct relation. There will be a direct relation. Means in order to access value 1, we need to access the key 1. Right. So there are certain conditions in it. The keys must be unique. All the keys of a dictionary will be unique. All the keys will be unique. Then another thing is, it must be immutable. All the keys which are being used must be of immutable type. Right, means if a list and all is there, it will create issues. It will get changed. So that's why we generally have this int, float, and these sort of things available as a key. The values can be repeated, means let's say we have this as 5, then this can also be 5. So this can also be 5. Values can be repeated. For example, mobile phone number, right? Like if you guys saved my mobile number in your phone, you'll search in Gagan and you will get my contact number corresponding. Similarly, if you search any other number, you get the corresponding. If you search any other name, you get the number. Similarly, you search the key, you get the value for it. And if the key is same, the number will get overwritten. Like for example, in mobile phone, if you try to save a new contact with the same name, then the chances it generally merges it in the same one now. But earlier on, it used to be like it used to override the previous number that was already available. Just like when we try to copy one file into another folder with the same, like if the file is already available in that folder, it asks us to keep both the copies or remove the pre-existing one. So in this case, the pre-existing value for that key will get overwritten. Right? So let's see how this can be created. As there is a relation between it, So this shopping list, if I go with this particular part, let's say shop this time, shop equals to mango colon 5, means the quantity of mango is 5. Kiwi colon 7. So this is my dictionary. Print shop. So you can see my dictionary getting printed. Right? So this is how dictionary looks like. Print shop of square bracket mango. So you can see we got a value 5. Similarly, I can access shop of kiwi also. 7. Now there is one function known as keys. It will give us the list of all the keys in it. You can see all the keys, mango and kiwi, 2 keys are there. Similarly, dot values is there. Shop dot values will give us the list of values. Then I told you dictionary is a mutable data, means we can make changes to it. So let's make some changes. Shop of kiwi. Let's change the quantity of kiwi to 10. Print shop. Mango 5, kiwi 10. Right? Similarly, you can delete it also. Or let's add on a new pair. Shop of. How to add on a new pair is by writing down a new key. The new key would be orange equals to 20. Print shop. So you can see orange and 20 is added. If you use the key which is already there, it will override the previous value. Previous value was 7. It has overwritten it to 10. And if you write a new key value pair, then it will add it on to the dictionary. Right? Is that clear? Yes, guys. Is it clear to everyone? Anyone having any doubt till dictionary? If you have any queries, you can ask him. Yes, guys. Anyone having any query? Any query to anyone? Okay. Now the last data type that we have with us is sets.
Sir, can we add orange in the starting?
Sorry?
Can we add orange in the starting? Is there any key? Like, is there any method to add?
Shailendra, your voice is not clearly audible. Can you just write it in the chat, your query?
He's asking that he want to add orange in the first.
You
Can he
want
add
to add orange in the first.
Yes, that's what he's carrying.
Okay, so you cannot directly change the order of it. Means while preparing it, the way you are going to prepare it, in that order it will appear in. Then you need to move on the other things out there. And after this is sets. Now sets is an unindexed, unordered data. In curly brackets we have it. this is how a set will look like. There are certain conditions with sets. First is elements are unique. Right, all the elements of the sets will be unique. You cannot have repetitive value. Second is elements are immutable. Means whatever values we add on to the sets, they are of immutable type. You cannot have a list inside a set, or you cannot have the other immutable dictionary inside it. Sorry, mutable ones. You cannot have mutable data types in it. Only immutable elements will be there. So it is an unindexed, unordered collection of data. So you cannot access any value. You don't have access to any value directly. For that, you need to use for loop and all. You cannot access it with any key value pair or index. So let's create one set. My set is created, print Z. So you can see only unique values are there. Right. Then, as I told you, set is, if I try to print the index, set object is not subscriptable is the error. So to access any value in sets, we need to use for loop for I in X. So we'll discuss about the looping later on, that how we can write down the for loop and while loop. For I in X means instead of I, you can write down any value you want. X, instead of X, we'll write down Z. Means I will take all the values which are available in this collection. So one by one, I will become 1, then it will become 2, then it will become 3. Colon, print, I. So you can see 1, 2, 3 are being printed. So this is a for loop. We will discuss it in a short while or maybe tomorrow as per the timelines. So this is how it will be done. Right. So with this, it completes the data type and all part. And one more, just an example, sets is mutable, means I can make changes to it. So let's write one example, z.update. Update is a command which can be used to add more than one value in a set. But in this, you need to pass on a list or collection of data generally, 2, 3, 4 or 5. Then print Z. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry. These values were repeated, so it has not added on those values. Clear? So with this, it completes the part for the data type and all. Now, the next thing that we can do is how to collect in a value from a user. Right? If I want to add on, means if I want the user to give me some value, how I can do that is, for that we use input function. Taking input from the user. Age equals to input is the function input input. Enter your age. In this, you write down the custom message you want. Right, whatever message you want, you can write it here. Input, enter your age. I'll click on run, and this is how I'll get a box in which I can enter my age. This is used to get input from a user. Let's say 25 I am writing. Nothing I am printing out here, so nothing will happen. Let me print age after it. Print age, comma, type of age also. I'm trying to check what is the type of it, right? So now you can see one thing, print age, that is 25, fine. But the type it is showing is class str. Means it is telling us that the type of this value is string, but 25 is an integer value, right? I have entered integer value in this. So yes, Binod. In this now, what we are going to do is we will add on a int part before input. This addition of int is known as typecasting. Typecasting means converting of one data into another data forcefully, or forceful conversion of one data into another data. Here we are converting string into an integer value with the help of int function. So there are generally two types of type conversions. One is implicit type conversion. Another one is explicit. Explicit type conversion is also known as typecasting, in which we forcefully make changes. Implicit is automatically done by the interpreter and all. Like for example, if you divide 3 by 4, answer you will get as 0.75. So these two are integer values, answer is float. So this conversion is automatic. This is what implicit is. In explicit, we do the conversion. Right, so let me just run this code. So you can see 5 class int. Right. So that is how we can take in the values from the user. And that is how we can write it down. Is it clear to everyone? Right, is it clear to everyone? Okay, now with this, we will be halting up the session for today with these things. Now, tomorrow we will be having a quick overview of loops as well as functions. Before that, we will also have a look at if-else condition. So in the initial minutes of the session, we'll start up with the if-else condition decision making. And then we will do the loops, and then we'll also look at the function part. And after that, whatever the time will be remaining in that, we will cover up the modules part. Means we'll start up with the module section for those that will be used for the project purpose. Right. So now anyone is having any sort of a query, they can ask their queries. Or if anyone is facing any issue with a particular thing while executing these at your end, we can also ask that also. Yes, guys, is anyone having any query? Okay. So I hope everyone, whatever we did today is clear to everyone. Now, let me just save this and I'll share this file so that you guys can recommend to it.
And sir, you please send us our team that recordings also, because students are asking for the recordings.
Sure. I'll pass on the recording link and you guys can just access it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right. So if anyone is having any query, they can ask him, or we can conclude in the session for today, and we'll start up with the things. And before leaving for the day, I would like to request you all to go through the basic decision-making statement functions and loops, so that once like we meet tomorrow again, everyone is on the same page and we can escalate the things a bit, right? So guys, that's all from my side for today. I hope everyone has enjoyed today's session and you got to learn something new. So I'll be forwarding the link once the Zoom recording is ready. We'll share in the link with the team so that it can reach out to all of you. Right. So in case if anyone faces any issue with this installation and all, Habiba, that will be shared to you by the NIT team. I'll share the link to them and they'll share with you these things.
Yeah, guys, don't worry. We will share the links through your mail. So you will get this as soon as we get it. And I think we're towards the end, sir. Like we can wrap up now.
Yeah, we are ending up the things, right? So that's all for today, right? We'll be meeting up tomorrow. Just go through the basic stuff at your end so that we can be ready with the other things also, right? So that's all from my side. Bye-bye. Take care, everyone. And stay safe. Keep on learning. I hope you have enjoyed the session today and everyone will be joining in tomorrow at the same time, right? Okay, bye-bye. Take care, everyone. Thank you for joining in.